How do you complete the brand new levels in dangerous truck driving in the India truck? Well, this is proven to be extremely difficult. I've tried many times. Many people have commented in my videos, please can you show a tutorial on how to complete the new levels, because I know they're incredibly difficult to do. In the India truck, they're even hard to do in things that are built and have high winds. For example, sort of these other things, they're just really difficult. But today we're going to be showing you the India truck, not any of these brand new vehicles. We've got the Beast Wagon and Gladiator. I will get onto those in a different video. But let's just get in the India truck and let's get the tutorial started. So first of all, obviously you don't really want to go when it's foggy, but you'll probably enter on this new level the checkpoint 6 if I'm not mistaken. And basically what you want to do is keep center right here. And now the very difficult bit is when it gets over here, is when you just want to brake. Remember, space is for the sort of handbrake, which you need a lot. Boom, there we go, got down there. Very extremely difficult, and I know guys you are struggling, but just keep pushing. Basically just stay in the middle, and I'd avoid these little bumps on the road. They're sort of the grey bits because they can knock you off course. This truck does have very good hill starts, so it's pretty good. That's a very good feature of this. But obviously I don't like the handling. Just going very slow. You can't even go too fast up this hill, which is a good thing because we really don't want to be going that fast, but just stay in the middle. Boom, got a bit stuck there. Just going to go back a bit, maybe add a bit of handbrake. So once you've made it up that little bit, being extremely careful, and you've got to get the right angle, because that bit's extremely difficult. Now when you get to this bridge, obviously you just want to keep center line. If you sort of go off balance, just realign. This bridge is not too difficult. Boom, conquered the bridge. Now this is where it gets very difficult because it's extremely thin. Now if there's a bit where it's sort of angling down, I'd avoid those bits and go to the other side, sort of like I'm doing here, sort of wiggling and weaving just around those slopey bits that do go down. And whenever there's a big blizzard that comes across, just be extremely careful, because I know they're difficult. Those trees are kind of a help, because if you accidentally maybe slip a bit, they might save you. Now these bits are really thin, so just be extremely careful, keeping that center line and dodging those spiky bits. Now it's basically just checkpoint 2 once again, which obviously is very painful in the India trucks to checkpoint 2, but just be extremely careful in this India truck on checkpoint 6 at this bit, because it's very difficult, but it's not too much harder than the bit before. It's sort of just like checkpoint 2, so you shouldn't struggle that much if you've done checkpoint 2 multiple times. Now guys, I know they're making wins harder and harder, and I do wish they added a different system, because this is literally impossible to get wins anymore. It was hard even before, when there's literally only 3 checkpoints, and now they added 5 and then 7. Okay, this bit guys, definitely keep center, because you don't want to fall down here because it's very far away from spawn. And this is probably one of the longest newer checkpoints, so I'd be extremely careful, just keeping that center line rule. So entering onto checkpoint 6. The checkpoint before that was checkpoint 5. I was mistaken. Now do be careful on these starting bits. You do want to take time lining yourself up on these, because you really don't want to die. As you can see, it is extremely difficult. Align your front wheels and then your back wheels should follow, but if they don't, I'd reverse back and sort of realign yourself. So just take time. Now guys, you probably think, where does this thing go? And it goes down. Now guys, on this bit, if you've been trying for ages and ages, like even I have been trying for quite a long time, you can always try going backwards. It doesn't always help, but it's just a pretty good another method. Okay, so once you're down, backwards method is definitely a very good method. You just want to be really careful around this little bit here. Obviously if you went down that thing forwards, you're just gonna have to reverse, but then just sort of weave your way in and out. This bit's not too difficult after it, and then just basically go, you can go as fast as you want down here, and then it should flip your truck back over. Just be careful it doesn't send you flying, because sometimes it will do that, so just be very careful of that. And then you're gonna want to go round here. So this is very difficult, so I'd recommend lining your truck up very well with this, because you don't want to go back and do that thing all over again. So you should be extremely careful of going round these little blocks right here. So guys, sadly my recording just cut off there for a little bit, but basically what you want to go on to do It's just weave around those little things. You've got to line it up absolutely perfectly. It's very difficult in the India truck, and I will admit that it took me many tries to get that thing perfect. But basically just wiggle your way around those blocks, lining yourself up nice and perfectly. And then it's basically just a straight road up to the 7th checkpoint. This is the last checkpoint before your first ever win. Just head into this cavern right here. You just turn left and then head over to these sort of platforms. Now be very careful, because there are icicles falling out the ceiling, as you can see. Now you might take a while to line these things up, but on these platforms I think you're pretty safe from the icicles falling. Just be very careful and try not to be hit by those icicles, and then you just want to line yourself up. It's very difficult. So once you get to here, basically just continue reversing. Now the end bit is probably the most hard thing you will ever encounter in dangerous truck driving. Basically you've got to do some cheeky maneuvers to try get around this thing, because it's basically impossible if you try and do it without any cheeky maneuvers, because it's very difficult. Oh my, this thing is actually very tricky. I've never tried this bit in the India truck before, but it's proving to be extremely difficult. So guys, continuing reversing up to this end bit where you can finally turn around, and you've reached the last stage of this thing. Basically just turn around, and this is not too thin, but just keeping that center line rule, just dodging that bit on the left there, and just try not to fall off, because you don't want to go back and do this thing all over again. So guys, I just got to lock in real quick, and you guys should lock in too, because this thing is extremely difficult. I think this bit is definitely easier than the rest of it. It's easier than quite a bit of the other courses, because obviously it's the finish line and they don't want it too difficult. But I mean, I'd recommend them adding sort of levels and breaking this game into smaller chunks. But as you can see, entering the bridge, just line up. You're definitely good at lining up now, because you've just done a whole bit of lining up. That back there is very difficult, and I would recommend just keep trying and trying. It took me a long time past these bridge, and boom, you have finally made it to your first ever win. I hope this tutorial helped you. If it did, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. But for now, peace.